Okay, first of all, good afternoon, Mr. Nicholas.
Good afternoon, Brian.
Um, as you know, my name is Per Morales, and I'm here in front of you to ask you questions about your wonderful and very prominent printing press business. The first question I'd like to ask you is, how long has Print Belize existed?
First of all, welcome to Print Belize. I am the manager, owner of Print Belize Limited. Print Belize has been in existence 22 years now. It's existed first as a printing department, government printing department, until it was privatized and transitioned into a private company. As a result, that I will do printing for the private sector and government. Primarily as a government entity, we only did printing for the government. Under the government also, you had where government had to allocate money to pay salaries and things like that for staff salaries and the printing in the private sector. It's a business that has to generate money that pays for its staff, its social security, income tax, and things that buy its own materials and work are more like a profit driven. In comparison with government, it was mostly service provided. Once you provide service, we provide service to make a profit, make a business um, competitive in terms of the whole printing industry. So it's about 22 years now we've been in existence.
Okay, that sounds like 22 years of wonderful and very happy service. You sound very happy to be in your industry. You sound very comfortable. I'd like to ask, besides Print Belize, what was actually your first entrepreneurial venture?
I had an interest in teaching. I used to do teaching at UWI, University of Belize, a School of Continuing Studies in Belize City. So I had a school that I had started out called Belize Institute of Printing and Publishing, whereby I teach introduction to computers those times, graphic design. I taught social social services, constitution, administrative law. I did public administration. Uh, I did sociology. Those are what I taught at UWI. As part of that, I used to go to Jamaica and assist in publishing books for the university in Jamaica. I traveled there and assisted in formulating books and different things.
Okay, I can see that the digital and printing world has been an integral part of your entrepreneurial and business life for a long time. What inspired you to establish in this industry?
Uh, you look at education. Printing is a form of communication. Publishing is putting information out there to people. And there is different ways that you do that. You publish information um, by on paper. Now you find information is now communicated via social media. In the days of old, you publish newspapers on paper. Now you can publish on social media, Facebook, Instagram, those other platforms that are out there. So that is the competitive aspect of in getting information out to public. Our printing industry have to compete now against that in terms of the speed of getting information out to the general public. People now want information quick. People are accustomed to that, like WhatsApp. Something happened instant, it's out there. In the printing industry, it has to be set up, printed on paper, and gets out there. Now you publish most information quickly through social media.
Okay. Given your view on the new technology and the way we communicate now, as a business owner, especially in this industry, how important do you find it to stay abreast with the current changes?
Yeah, the future is seemingly heading towards what we refer to as a paperless society, whereby less paper will be used to communicate. A lot of paperless society will has to do with the Facebook, and Instagram, email, and these different things how people communicate. Even the courts are beginning to adapt to accept things that are posted digitally, right? So these are some of the changes that are coming and are happening now. So people are now more and more. In the days when you have a boyfriend, you used to have to write him a letter. In the days when you had a girlfriend, you had to write her a letter and you post it through the post office. Now you have a phone now, it's instant, communicate, chat, everything now. So that's the where the future seemingly going. But I believe that you will still need printing. Printing will be a necessity still, but I believe that it will, over time, it will will become what the ref would call a paperless society soon. So that will be the way people will communicate. The new generation are mostly now high tech. That is where they're going. And everybody have a phone in their back pocket. Everybody have chat, Instagram page. Everybody going that way. So it is evolving. We are not quite yet at where the paperless society should be, but I think eventually it's heading in that direction.
Okay. The question about how Print Belize plans to fulfill the new needs and demands of the modern world as a printing press.
Yeah, as I say, print release also has to evolve with the changing technology. And one thing we do as a company that investment in new technology come with training. You have to train employees to adapt to the new technology. We came from lead, then from lead we transitioned to offset printing, and now we do digital. So at Print Belize, we do what we refer to as hybrid printing. A mass production is continually done on using offset printing process, and the short runs are mostly used using digital presses. So that's where you compete. Furthermore, we're transitioning also in diversification to radio and TV to get information out to people. So we create one we refer to more or less as a one-stop shop. If you come to print posters with us, you're going to have a function, a concert, a dance, then we will advertise for you on the TV, so you get your information out. So it meets the same principles. While you're getting information out, you're publishing information to people who are published on paper and also digitally on social media for that matter. That's the way how we involve and how we hope to stay relevant and keep abreast in adapting to the new reality of the media landscape as we speak.
Print Release sounds like a very progressive and hard-working part of the printing industry. I'd like to ask you, were there any competitors when you started?
Yeah, you had existing printing companies in the list before, right? And most printing companies in the East had to do with a newspaper. You had Billboard, you had Clarion, and you actually have Belize Time, have the Reporter Press. These were had their own printing presses, so they used to print. That's what the newspapers used to do. They print their own newspaper. So weekends, Fridays, we used to have newspapers hitting the streets weekend. And then you have sometimes maybe you have the mandala also. Or I think Amanda still exists. And I think they also publish digitally now. They have to adapt similarly. You know, you don't only do paper, we also do digital. That you could subscribe and read newspaper online. Whilst you used to buy paper outside, you still do that, but now you could pay online and have access to reading the newspaper and books outside. Internationally, you could buy books online, you could read books, read only, right, whereby you pay some money and you could access that book. And then you could read it whenever you want and things like that. You know, things like that. Then you look at also issues of copyright, you know, so people protect their copyright in terms of their publications and books like that. But we still publish books, you know, for people. You know, you write a book, you want to get the information out. We still do that. We exercise books, you know, reports. We are a bespoke printing company. We undertake practically any and everything.
Okay. How did Print Belize really s- leave its mark not only as a printing press but as a brand?
You see, Print Belize has a history. Print Belize, as I mentioned, was a government department until it was transitioned into a private company, right? So what happens with that? Then we basically do these works whereby we continue to evolve from one stage to the next stage, and we bring along employees to adapt to the new media landscape.
Okay. I'd like to ask, what has been one of your biggest challenges running this business and how did you overcome it?
One of the biggest challenges you will have, that you have running this type of business is the reality investment. Printing is a very expensive business. The cost of equipment very expensive. So people who get involved in this line of work have to do a heavy financial outlay. And when you do financial outlay, comes with risk, right? That you might not make the money back that pays your equipment, with your staff, with rent of your business, your paper, your ink, different things. So these are some of the challenges that goes with it. But I believe you continue to do good work, quality work, turn around the job in a timely manner for your customers, you build a good relationship with people, you know. So you stay relevant, and also you advertise and market what you do. And if you do that, I believe that you will be able to be successful.
Wow. What? Let's see. Let me consult my question. Okay. How did you learn to run a business?
I had done some studies about business, and some books will teach you. I go to university and study business administration and those different things and so forth. You learn about profit and loss. You learn to read financials, you need to appreciate statistics in terms of your jobs that you do. You have to do a whole SWOT analysis. What to do, you have to look at the strength, weakness, and opportunity and threats to a business, and you have to adapt as you go along. Our business continually have to be evolving. So you you will always tell success also to the people that works. So build a culture with the employees, things like that. That everybody know that if we make it, everybody makes it. So we share one culture and mentality that whatever need to get done, we'll need to sacrifice to get it done within the time frame, the deadline, when you need to get out of work. If the customer come and need this job for so a time frame, it's important for that customer to promote this business and have a function. You can't, you have, you won't be successful if you're continually not hitting deadline in this line of work. So that is very important. You manage, continue to upgrade equipment, learn new technology, things like that. So you continue to give good quality work in a timely, delivery in a timely manner to your customers. I believe that you should do well.
Wow. I'd like to ask if you had anything to say, maybe to a young person thinking about starting a business, maybe in the printing industry or in any industry. What's a piece of advice you'd give them?
If you have a specific interest in whatever it is you could do, I believe that you can be successful with anything you set your head to want to do. You just have to be willing to work hard, invest your time, and don't be fearful of failure. Failure is just a step to success. If you get knocked down the first time, pick up yourself and go again. Um, so for any young person, you go to school, you can study if you want to be agronomist, agriculture, you want to be business, you do business administration, you want to be law, you study law, you want to be a chemist, you study chemistry, you want to be a physicist, you study physics, and you do maths, and all those different things. And so all these things you will need. Because there isn't anything, no subject or knowledge that is unimportant. You could basically understand that I know how to sociology, I know how to history, but in the day, history is what brings us to the future. It has to have a past. So you might say, I want to study this, I don't want to study that, but whatever studies you do will be useful at some time in your life. You never know when you need that knowledge. So I believe that if you want to do anything, you stay focused on that. These are, if you want to be liars, you look for subjects that will propel you to study law. If you want to be agriculture person, then you study biology and those different things. Because all of that has to do with growing up and understanding the whole mechanics of how plants come into be, photosynthesis, all of that sense. So you can't say I don't want to science. That kind of thing. So the values of it. So they only want to go the easy subjects. But everything is to be useful. So you go in direction of your dream and you stick to invest the time. You only get out what you put in.
As a law student, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that
If
one.
you don't put in the work, you can't get it out.
That is very true. I have one last bonus question for you, and that is how do you think the culture, more specifically the working culture that started Belmopan, affects us today?
You mean the overall downtown community?
Yes.
Um, I think the whole idea of Belmopan had started, I believe, to a historical perspective. You understand what hurricanes that in 1961 destroyed parts of the city. And I think that the government at that particular time had looked to move because I think we had lost a considerable amount of people, destruction of properties, and different things like that in Belize City. So they were looking for safer ground to whereby the ravages of hurricane wouldn't impact the economy overall because then hurricane do impact development of our country and things like that. So I think Belapan was built on the premise that we reduce the actual impact to the economy when hurricanes come. Because the water levels in Belize also have posed some problems. And so I think that then the expense would come to rebuild. I think Belapan was chosen as a more higher level or higher ground. It was built to offset some of the damages that result from hurricane. The people that came here are government service, workers, some of them, they build up the space, they provide homes, transportation to the people who come to Downtown. Downtown starting to grow a little at a time, little at a time, until it is now almost becoming a full-fledged city, continually expanding, expanding, expanding. By 1975, you had a movement of people, both the public officers and the working government service, until everyone had moved to Belmopan, where you still had some of the uh, departments that were income tax and cleanliness remain in the city. For majority of the other government offices had moved to Belmopan. So again, also records, some of the records get damaged, right, when hurricane, damage good equipment, and these have to be replaced, and it keeps you back when you have to continually invest in things that you've already invested. So I think it had behooves the government to really look at Belmopan. So most of the people that came to Belmopan were public officers that had work, and they used to travel regularly to Belize to Belmopan, Belize to Belmopan. People start to stay here. When people start saying Belmopan start build up, then you have then children of Belmopan, the kids that were born here, they call Belmopan home. So they are really Belmopanese. Some of us they come from Belize City, Corazon, or Indua, PG, Tayo, but while Belmopan is part of the Kyle district, but you have a whole mixture of people who live here now, who call themselves Belmopanese, who call Belmopan now home. I say like you, so you Belmopanese. There's the next
Proud one
section.
at
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So this is how now you call Belmopan home. Your mama, like we were originally in PG. So we came here and made Belmopan our home.
That's nice. To elaborate on my question, how do you think the working culture helps to not only fuel the workplace when it comes to inspiring the young generation to pursue success and to continue the generational success and wealth we've had, but also to contribute to the creation of young and upcoming entrepreneurs?
Well, as um, as a nation, you have different cadre of people that looks for different form of employment. Some people want to work for themselves, while others prefer working at the public service. The private sector is different in comparison to the public sector. Private sector, they invest your money, and whatever you make uh, is for you. The private sector, public sector, work for government for a salary. So in the private sector, when you become an entrepreneur, things that you have to take risk. And risk can like say you have got skin in the game. I mean you're putting your money. So you have to work hard, make it not lose your money. So you do what you do. As a entrepreneur or private person, you don't look at the job as either 1 to 5, it's 24/7. You never stop thinking about business. You always think about how to make a business better. When you lie in bed at night, you say, maybe I could do this better tomorrow. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to invest money and they look you work smarter. You could see how these people used to do this. You have to work and you do it much quicker, at a better quality than the old way. So you always look to where you can improve. Everything is always changing. The whole idea of business dynamic, constant, remain one place. And the customer become uh, different. The customer want different things, and you will continue have to meet the needs of the customer. As they say, well, change. Like now, people want to do things differently, so you have to meet them at what they require. People come, they want to design a flyer, people want to do a poster, you assist them with that, and they want to start a business, they put up a poster. People do poster on social media, flyers, get the information out. So whichever way you can reach people, because you have to look for a target audience. You have to see where your market is, or who are your market, who are the consumer are the product that you put in out there, and these are the people target. So if you are published a book without books, then people don't learn to read. If you are published books with pictures inside, then people where they learn to read together with pictures, right? So that's how the progress go, right? So it is what it is. So if you are published a book for that age group, that's how we're going with it. If you are published a book for people who don't read, you don't have to put pictures. The novels and different things and so. But most as young people from primary school or infant school, you have to give them books that are mostly picture. So they read picture, they say associated picture. And then they learn words, and things like that. So this is how this is going. You have to know the target audience, you have to know the market, and you focus on the market as to what they want, and you give them the best quality of work that you ever put. So they always continually come back.
Wow, that's a very impactful answer. Let's see. Where's that? Okay. What would you say the benefits would be the benefits of being an entrepreneur?
Is you go it alone, right? And you only get out where you put it. I it have its advantages and disadvantages. Um, when you're willing to work hard, you know, and one of the things you like about uh, being an entrepreneur is the challenges. Life will always challenge us. There will always be things that we need to overcome. If you start a business, you have to have a holistic approach as to how you're going to look at it. You have to know, like I said, the strengths, the weakness, and the opportunities and the threats to whatever you're going to do. So you try to work, look at what the opportunities. I could do this. Like some people are interested in the service, right? The strength, me, I'm willing to work hard, me put in the extra hours. Now 8 to 1 to 5, you call me anytime I want to do work. And this is where the strength of that you got a house, you start paying home. You know, so some of the threats is going to be the machine breakdown. Some of them things, so you have to get back up. If you got a deadline for tomorrow, you have a blackout. You have to get a generator that you can't tell the customer, I can't do this thing for you tomorrow. No, that can't be. The customer depends on you. American is sue you when you can't make what they bankrupt you.
That's very true.
After people depend on you for them business successful, if they lose, people who are sue you for loss of income and all them things. So the business are a serious thing. So you have to really work hard at it. So I believe that these are some of the things I think that you have to take a whole holistic approach for business, and you should be able to assess those things that you need. And I think you should be okay, have a good business plan, and then it is that spend your money prudently. Whatever the business make, eventually you invest it into the business. Invest it into the business. Until the business could stand on its own, that you afford that you could put up something. As the Belize say, well, here's you have to work out for the next safe in the minute. You can't really flash out there, the flex out there, and things like that. When things go by, you don't got money to replace.
No gold
You have
chain
to
for
replace
me.
a machine. You have to get somebody from outside to repair a machine. You have to invest in our world technology that keep going, or find money for that. You have a business plan, you have your financials. Financial determine the health of your business. When you go in a bank and borrow money, it says send your financial. Send it. So if you do business with bank these days, you have to present them with financial. That will tell you the health of the business. Make money, or you don't make money, and you break even, and that tells you. And then the bank will lend you. And so you borrow money based on needs to put your business further, grow your business, go in a new direction and new technology and things that I pay back to the business and not just the life of an entrepreneur, that constant change, you adapt as a program, you continue to evolve. And once you do that, you should be fine. And then you have the next generation coming along, they will adapt also, and now change come quick overnight, new technology coming. So how that will impact or compete against what I'm doing, or how I will bring that thing to help my existing business and that. These are just some of
Wow. I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you for your time, Mr. Nicholas, and also a thank you to maybe the young entrepreneurs who can't just walk into Print Belize because they're really busy on the grind for the
yes, keep talking.
information. I'd also like to offer you the time to not only express how much you love Print Belize, but also to tell the public about the services you offer.
Yeah, Print Believe offer printing services. We do posters, brochures, flyers, publish books, exercise books. We do a whole bespoke, a whole lot. We do envelopes, we do, sometimes we do boxes, um, we publish, do tickets for events. We work for resorts, in terms of flyers for resorts and things like that. We do a whole wide range of services, and we also, like I mentioned earlier, diversify. We do a little advertising on TV. Also, we do T-shirts, the mugs. We do our books. We work with the majority of our homes throughout the country. PG, Dangrida, Kayo. We do now with the transportation. What it is now, we could bring, get it down on the bus and things like that. So you have on the soul network, people could reach out to you to do printing. So that is what we do. And we are continue to publish um, like books for sometimes we do things for niche. People will write authors, we publish books for authors, people we publish books for like Dr. Colton Young. We do some serious bestsellers book.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's very impressive.
That's what we do in a nutshell.
If I do recall correctly, when I was young, attending Orlando Guadalupe, Print Belize was actually where I got my shirt for the anti-bullying protest.
Yeah, we do t-shirts. Yeah,
Okay.
the t-shirt, one, they have personalized items. That's another dimension to print these. Yeah. So we don't only print in paper that are metal, right? Metal. So you could print information on metal in terms of um, giving like funeral headstones. But those are some of the diversification strategies that we're doing.
Wow. It's nice to hear about how far print release has come along since it was privatized and how it aims to still serve its community after so many years of not only faithful but happy service. Could you tell the people where they might find print release, maybe online, social media?
Well, our address is number one for our name. Pan right at the roundabout hospital. It's it's on the right hand side, coming from the market. Um, then admin at print release, our email. Um, we connected with Open Learning TV. And you could find us online and you could communicate with us with Facebook. Uh, my daughters deal with that side of the social media aspect of it. And what's that? Deal with the TV side. They don't have the general printing and administration overall. So they all come together with our meetings and we process whatever orders come for printing from the general public.
Again, thank you for your time. It's an honor to be able to sit across from such a great mind and a pillar of our Belmopan community.
Yeah, all the best.